In an era where street bikes have never been more popular, this series follows bikes with stripped fairings, the A&R Street Fighters and the Thundersport 500s. We're here at Donington Park for round 2. Welcome to Thundersport Naked.
Yes, welcome to Donington Park, round 2 of the Thundersport GB Championships for 2013. Well, we're supposed to be in spring, but very, very cold here. A lot of the snow been pushed over to the side of the circuit. Track temperatures around about 5 or 6 degrees, and the spectators wrapped up nice and warm. So here we are then, and we've got obviously the A&R Racing Street Fighters and the HMT Racing Thundersport 500s for you today. Street Fighters up first, down on the grid, should be on pole. Scott Adam, number 38, there he is, down there on the Suzuki 750. The Street Fighters, effectively 3 races in one here. The A class, the B class and the C class. All 3 separate engine capacities, etc. Number 11 there. In second, Gordon Wright on the KTM 990 Super Duke. He's come all the way from Scotland on his own. He's a one-man show. Martin Stanier's back with us, number 121 on the Suzuki. Nice to have Martin back on the Street Fighter grid. And fourth on the grid is the reigning champion, number 9, Reese Rothwell on the Triumph 675. Reese, who I think it's fair to say, Brands Hatch absolutely dominated last season. Absolutely dominated. Well, not quite so here at Donington so far. Green flag waving at the back. You can see the green machine of Mick Riddle on the second row. He's a Street Fighter B runner under the Royal Air Force, one of the riders that races under the Royal Air Force Motorsports Association banners. But as they head down towards Redgate into turn 1, the Street Fighters, it's going to be Gordon Wright, is it, on the KTM Super Duke, or does Scott Adam manage to get in? There's Brad Davey, number 14. Nice to have Brad back out there on Street Fighter C, the reigning champion. He beat Tony Hughes to it last season. And you'll see his title rival from last year, Tony Hughes. He'll be out in the Thundersport 500s up next after the break. But here we are back with the Street Fighters. That's Sheriff just going through there. Adam Sheriff, number 911. We were trying to find out why he uses number 911, and apparently it is just purely down to his surname, the Sheriff, 911. So here is Gordon Wright, number 11, going through ahead of Scott Adam. Reese Rothwell, the reigning champion, in third. And then further back, you've got Martin Stanier and Sheriff having a decent battle there. Ryan Strafford is doing well, number 57 on another triumph. And Mick Riddle there, you'll see him, number 44 in the green machine. Down into Fennell Chicane. Scott Adam looks to be making a move on Gordon Wright, but well, there is Reese. Have to try and catch up with him before Snetterton. It's not been quite the dominant weekend that we expect of Reese. The 2 out front here have been getting away. And look at that funny line that Reese Rothwell just takes there, uses all the exit of pit line. That's the sort of line that we're used to seeing from some of the younger super teen riders. They use that line, gives them better drive through into Hollywood. There's Rob Pracknell, number 98, a regular Thundersport rider. Nice to have Rob out there. But as we complete another lap and come up towards McLean's, it's Gordon Wright who leads from Scott Adam. Gordon has actually been only on this circuit probably once or twice before in terms of laps, once or twice, because he came here on a track day and only managed to complete a couple of laps. So he's come all the way down from Scotland with limited experience, unlike Scott Adam there in second place, who has been around Donington 1 or 2 times and is looking sharp on his Suzuki as he pulls out of the slipstream and up the inside of Gordon into the Fennell Chicane. He leads. The pair of them are breaking away now from Reese Rothwell in third place. These 3 bikes are all Street Fighter A machines, so they are the larger capacity engines. Therefore, they should be at the front of this. Further back, there's a mammoth battle going on for Street Fighter B glory between Strafford, Sheriff, Riddle, Darren Smith, a former 450 champion. Phil Page is having a good run out as well, number 94. Richard Harrison, Bob Docker also in amongst it. Street Fighter C's, well, there you can see him going through. Good old tussle between Brad Davey, Andy Driver and Keith Warren. Andy, Mr. Factory Rider on the MZ. But it's Gordon Wright who seems to be quicker over the first part of the lap, and then Scott Adam fighting back again just in the latter stages of the lap. And as they come up towards Coppice, the blind entry point, they tip in, and Scott just seems to get some great drive on the back straight. There is Dave Palfreman, number 72 on the black and orange machine, just up ahead of Mick Riddle. And Dave's brother Adam, who regularly attends Thundersport, well, apparently he's taking a break from the sport for a few months. I think he's worn out. He used to attend pretty much 3 or 4 races, or different classes per weekend, and some 12, 13 races on a Saturday and a Sunday, and I think he's just going to recharge his batteries for a few months. So we won't see Adam for a while, but he's come to watch his brother here today. There's Reese Rothwell, the overall Street Fighter champion of 2012. Looks quite happy to settle for 3rd place at the moment. Further back there is Mick Riddle, number 44. Mick, who is a regular rider from Newquay. And there's Brad Davey, number 14. Brad, the Street Fighter C champion of last year. He's back out there on a Street Fighter C again this weekend, as well as having some fun in the Golden Era Superbike class, a class that you can catch here on Motors TV on a show called Thundersport Plus. But at the front, well, Gordon Wright isn't giving up here. Scott Adam has put in a decent lap time, and certainly put in the faster of the 2 lap times. But a good battle being put on. Strafford, number 57 on the Triumph, having a good run out with Mick Riddle. Darren Smith also running up in the top 8 still. Gordon Wright just trying to sling it down the gears, and the bike getting a bit out of shape there. Come onto the start-finish straight. Gordon doing very well on that old KTM Super Duke to keep up with Scott Adam on the Suzuki 750 with the flat bars, and down into Redgate Corner. They're side by side. Well, Gordon decides that he's going to be last on the brakes, and as they exit, who's the earliest on the power? Well, it is Gordon Wright that still has it just. There's Rob Bragnell, number 98, just going through. We wait for the leaders. Here they come, number 11 and number 38. Gordon Wright, the Scotsman, and number 38, Scott Adam, who was the runner-up in the Super Twins Championship, or the Sound of Thunder Championship a couple of years ago with Thundersport GB. So he's a familiar face in the Thundersport paddock. They're just filtering through. There's some rather deep traffic here as they go up into Coppice, and Gordon Wright struggling there, and he's gone straight on at Coppice, and he's down. And, well, I think that's due to the fact that he was just trying to go up underneath another back marker into Coppice, lost his way, went straight on, quick through there. There he is, the bike being wheeled away. Nice to see him up and walking away, but he'll be frustrated because, well, look at the lead that now leaves Scott Adam. He's got about a 20-second gap over the rest of the field. That's a shame, because that was looking like a close race until the end. Last lap flag out. It's still, well, Reese Rothwell has been promoted up to 2nd place. There he is, number 9. Just going through there, he's just past Edward Crump. In 3rd place overall now is Martin Stanier. Oh, and there's another rider down. That's a big tumble there, and he's hurt. That's Warren Picken, number 78. That looked a bit nasty. Hopefully he'll be up and okay. But that was a bit of a nasty fall there. There's Adam Sheriff, number 911 on his Honda. But Scott Adam is going to come into the final chicane and take the checkered flag here. It's going to be glory for Scott. And we're going to have quite a close championship heading into Snetterton in a few weeks' time. Across the line comes Scott Adam. It's 25 points and a winner's trophy for him. 2nd place, we have to wait around about 15, 16 seconds now for the defending champion, Reese Rothwell. Quick tap on the tank from Scott there. A good win for him. Rothwell does take 2nd place. Martin Stanier claims 3rd. And in 4th place, it's Adam Sheriff, who wins Street Fighter B ahead of Ryan Strafford and Mick Riddle. On the podium there then, Scott Adam, Reese Rothwell and Martin Stanier in the Street Fighter A's. In the B's, it's Adam Sheriff, Ryan Strafford and Mick Riddle. And in the C's, it'll be Keith Warren, Andy Driver and Brad Davey. Overall in the points heading into Snetterton then, 7 points separate Scott Adam and the defending champion Reese Rothwell, with Gordon Wright in 3rd.
of the Street Fighter A class, Scott Adam. That was a close race between you and Gordon at the start. Can you tell us what happened?
Yeah, I mean, Gordon's been he's been going well all weekend, so he was having a close dice. We had a couple of really close races yesterday, and he was really going for it today. But unfortunately, he made a bit of an error when we got caught up with some back markers, and he just ran off the track. I'm sure he's all right, but fair play. He was going well, and the conditions were horrible. Your hands were numb, and it's just nasty.
And you managed to get a good lead.
I did once he was out of the equation. I don't know how far back the gap was behind me. I just tried to get my head down and just try and get my hand working a bit, because you literally couldn't feel anything. Your hands just go numb.
It was a good race. Any sponsors to thank?
Yeah, I've got a few actually. Practical Car Van Rental, Pact Engineering, A&R Racing, Fleet Transport. Who else? Somebody at Ashfield Trailer Services. And Ryan at Moto Race Bears for sorting out all my bits. He's brilliant.
And winner of the Street Fighter B class, Adam Sheriff. You were chasing the leaders in that race. How did you find it? Was it a good race?
It was a good race, yeah, close, really enjoyed it, yeah. Just a bit scary down Craner. That wasn't scariest bit, but apart from that, it was good.
Excellent. Any sponsors to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Guy at Hell Levers, Simon Lane at Hell Brake Lines, Richard Andrews at Motorbike Shop UK, Silklin Oils, and my wife and kids for supporting me and helping me. I got done for that one last time.
Well done, thank you.
Thank you, thanks a lot.
Winner of the Street Fighter C class, Keith Warren. That was a close race between you and Andy Driver, was it not?
Oh yeah, and Brad Davey, Andy Driver. It was good. Yeah, it's very close.
And you came out on top with a trophy. What were the conditions like?
Very cold, very iffy conditions. Yeah, I didn't know, especially down the Craner curves, which is lots of people crashing there today and yesterday. So yeah, it's been good.
A couple of riders have said that. Any sponsors to thank?
MXB, Sanchez back at the workshop, mechanic, A&R Racing, just everyone that helps us out really, and Thundersport for a great meeting.
Street Fighter's done. It's time for the HMT Racing Thundersport 500s just after the break. Now time for the HMT Racing Thundersport 500s. On pole position, Neil Bainbridge looking to pick up some points here and keep himself well in the hunt for the championship. The two riders alongside him though, feisty competitors, Steve Tomes, a rider with over 300 wins to his name, and Adam Shelton, one of the pre-championship favourites you could say. In fourth place is Rob Morby. But as we got underway, unfortunately, this is a shot of the riders just before the start of the warm-up lap. Well, Steve Tomes, the very experienced rider, and Adam Shelton decided that they'd start racing on the warm-up lap. They wiped each other out, and as we made it back onto the grid, you will see very shortly, neither of them make it because they wiped each other out. Therefore, Steve Tomes and Adam Shelton there, number 61, not in this race and losing out on crucial points in the championship. We'll see how important they are at the end of 2013, but a major mistake by the pair of them on the warm-up lap here at Donington Park. It is very cold, I should just point out, but schoolboy errors from Steve Tomes and Adam Shelton. So we have two massive gaps on the front row here for the Thundersport 500s. Neil Bainbridge is on pole, just on the right of your screen there. Lining up in fourth as usual should be Rob Morby, just up ahead of Dave Palfreman, but no Steve Tomes and no Adam Shelton, which means that the riders that are in 6th and 7th have a clear shot at the first turn. Now, I can tell you that those riders are Richard Blunt, number 13, and Matt Shillings, number 24. Keep your eyes out for them. Blunt is on the right of your picture, and Shillings on the left, or sort of in the middle, should we say. Morby on the left there, number 53, black helmet with the luminous yellow dots on. Now this should be a race, if you look at the lap times over the weekend, a race that Neil Bainbridge should have his name etched on the winner's trophy, with Steve Tomes and Adam Shelton out of it now on the warm-up lap. But stranger things have happened, and this is a funny old class. 37 bikes, all equal in speed. Away they go, and Bainbridge wastes no time at all. He takes the lead, and Matt Shillings takes advantage of the big gap in front of him, and as they tip into turn one, it looks like it's Bainbridge from Rob Morby, as we just see a few of the riders there. You can see Pip Banks and a couple of others trying to filter into position. Number 94, Alex Tennant, also off to a decent start. And look at this already. Neil Bainbridge is blasting away. He's going to make a run for it. Morby it is in second place, and I think that is Matt Shillings up into the top three already. There is Dave Palfreman, number 71, his brother Adam, not racing now for a couple of months, off to recharge the batteries after a busy 2012 season. So it's Bainbridge that leads from Rob Morby. Matt Shillings in third place. And then up into fourth there is Carl Smalley, number 69. Adam Horton also off to a good start, number 49. Adam from Winsford. So just ever so strange to look at the front of the 500 race and not see Adam Shelton there. As we head down the back straight, look at the lead that Bainbridge has got already. It's almost a second advantage he has at the end of the first lap. Front end a bit of a wobble down into the Fennell chicane, and then onto the start-finish straight he goes, and it is still Rob Morby in second place. Rob, who is 49 years of age, he's leading the Seniors Cup, an ex-250 GP New Era Club champion back in 2000. That's some 13 years ago now. Matt Shillings, however, just behind him, number 24, just 17 years old. He's a mechanic from Howden, just having a big old look over his shoulder there as he exits Redgate Corner. Further back then, Carl Smalley's still there, Adam Horton. Tony Hughes, number 35, 2011 Street Fighter C champion. He's decided to move over to the 500s for this season to win a competition. Alan Brookbanks, another one of the Senior Cup riders, is up in the top 10 ahead of Alex Tennant, Matt Sanders, Ian Alkins, Richard Johnson, Darren Kay, Darren Corkin and Jonathan Perry. Mick Riddle are all making up the top 15 at the moment. There's Morby in second, ahead of Matt Shillings, and it really looks as though we're just going to be looking at a battle for second here, because Neil Bainbridge, his lap times are suggesting at half a second a lap quicker than the rest that he will be clearing off, and we won't be seeing him again. In the background there, just in fourth place, having a decent run out. Let's have a look. Is that Adam Horton, I suspect, number 49? Onto the start-finish straight we go. Bainbridge at the bottom of your picture, leading ahead of Rob Morby, Steve Tome's teammate. Then Matt Shillings, an ex-Super Teen rider. And then number 49, it is Adam Horton. There's Tony Hughes, number 35. Tony from Manchester, the ex-Street Fighter C champion, just up ahead of Dave Palfreman, who's got a bit of mud on his leathers already, so he's been for a tumble or two throughout the weekend already. Morby there going through ahead of Shillings. Still that battle for second and third place continues. Those riders doing about 6/10 of a lap slower at the moment than the leader here, Neil Bainbridge, who's a former Yamaha R6 Cup mechanic, believe it or not. Decided to go racing last year in the 500s. He's got himself up in the top 6 or 7 regularly, but this year he's going for the championship. And, well, if he takes the 25 points here, both he and Adam Shelton will not be split by an awful lot going into the final round. There's a bit of a problem by the looks of things there for Ben Kirkman, rider from St Helens, number 174. He's just going in behind 147, Phil Doody, the Dudester, who's played snooker professionally before and made over 100 competitive centuries. He's riding under the tag of Old Spice Racing this weekend at Donington Park. He changes his team name every single year and every single round at the moment. Over the shoulder again, the look from Matt Shillings. Further back there is number 42. It's Jonathan Perry. There's the Dudester, 147, who's won an award for best turned out bike. And there is 102. Stuart Campbell, 54-year-old from St Albans. He started racing 3 years ago. He won the North East 350 Classic Championship in 2011, sponsored by Easy Air Conditioning. But it's Bainbridge, the man to catch at the moment, the 28-year-old on the HBH Racing Honda. HBH standing for Hare Bulk Haulage. Rider from Hutton Rugby, doing very well indeed. And with no Steve Tomes and no Adam Shelton, this has become quite a lonely race for him. There is Dave Palfreman, number 71. Having a bit of a ding-dong further back in the pack, trying to get as many points as possible. Still, this fight for second continues between Rob Morby and Matt Shillings, but in the background there, Horton, number 49, is just closing in slightly, rider from Winsford. There's number 36, Darren Kay from Great Ayton. There's a bit of a scrap there, 94 and 156. 94 is Alex Tennant, 156 is Richie Boy Johnson, who turns 30 next month on the RB Racing Honda. Son of Jerry Johnson, 157, who's also out on circuit, 60-year-old, and who's the two riders there from Stokesley. Bainbridge here, not going to get caught, I don't think, in this race. Still Morby and Shillings in second and third. Horton in fourth has put in a lap of a 124.6, which is a good 3 or 4 tenths quicker than both Morby and Matt Shillings. In fact, it's not far off the lap times that the race leader's doing, but it's just Neil Bainbridge has actually got himself around about a 6 or 7 second lead at this point as he tips down into the chicane. Morby there in second place. Will take a firm grip on the Seniors Cup points going into Snetterton. That's where we head off next here, Thundersport GB. Snetterton in Norfolk for round 3. Thundersport GB Championship, of course, 9 different venues they visit throughout the 2013 season. Snetterton, if you want to go and watch, will be on the weekend of the 27th and 28th of April. It will be on Motors TV a couple of weeks after that, so keep your eyes pinned out. That will be the actual Snetterton 200 circuit, so not the new 300 circuit, the 200 circuit that they'll be racing on at Snet for round 3, and then we head further up north for round 4. Neil Bainbridge here. Well, had both Shelton and Seatone managed to make it around the warm-up lap, we might have had a bit of a race on our hands. Morby's broken away there in second place, and Matt Shillings has dropped down, so maybe Matt Shillings had a bit of an error on one of those laps, because Adam Horton has got himself up into the top 3, and Adam Horton's staring a podium right in the face here, his first podium it would be. Last lap flag out then for Neil Bainbridge. He's not done anything wrong so far. Second for Rob Morby, and Morby, well, he's been second for the majority of this race, but he might just have a little bit on his plate in order to hold on to it, because coming in the background there is number 49, Adam Horton. They head down into Craner Curves. This battle going on further back. That's 185.48. 185 is Dave Sumner from Ravenstone. 48 is Alan Brookbanks, one of the senior cup riders from Rochester. Well, he's certainly based in Rochester anyway. He's not from Rochester. Number 100, Neil Bainbridge it is, though, that is going to take the spoils here, and 25 points. And that will take him to, well, I think that'll probably mean that he and Adam Shelton will be separated by just 3 or 4 points heading into Snetterton. Matt Shillings there. He's going to miss out on a podium. That's a shame for Matt. He'll be a bit gutted, because Adam Horton's going to get his maiden Thundersport 500 podium. Will it be second, though, or will it be third? It depends on whether he can get the better of the experienced Rob Morby. Meanwhile, further ahead, Neil Bainbridge. Well, this has been the easiest win he'll ever have of his career. Across the line he goes, and Bainbridge takes the win by a country mile, and it's going to be Rob Morby, is it, for second? He'll take the Seniors Cup win no matter what. He just manages to scrape second place ahead of Adam Horton, and nice to see Rob on the main podium overall, the teammate of Steve Tomes, and Adam Horton there with the old Telefonica movie star leathers, familiar leathers. A bit of a handshake there for second and third. Adam Horton gets his maiden podium, and that battle further back, that is the battle for 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th, going to Alan Brookbanks ahead of Tennant, Sanders, Ian Alkins, Richard Johnson and Darren Kay. There he is, number 48, the 51-year-old Alan Brookbanks. Confirmation then, a 5.2 second win in the end for Neil Bainbridge, who takes a massive 25 points in the championship ahead of Morby, Horton, Shillings, Smalley and Blunt. And there is your winner, centre of the picture. Let's hear from him now, Neil Bainbridge.
Winner of the Thundersport 500s, Neil Bainbridge. You had quite a lead in that race. How did you find it?
Yeah, I would like to say it was easy, but I sort of got my head down the first few laps, try and pull a bit of a gap, and then I could kind of take it easy after that. But it was just a shame that there was a bit of an incident on the warm-up lap. Otherwise, it would have made it a hard race.
A good win. Any sponsors to thank?
Yeah, everyone this weekend for coming and supporting me. Mick at Hairball College, Andrew Milburn Joinery, Peter Larmouth for doing the paintwork for us, and everyone else that helps me out.
Thank you, well done. And winner of the Thundersport Seniors, Rob Morby. You came second overall as well as first in your class, and that was a close race.
Yeah, it was a really good race. It was a bit lonely to start with because obviously Steve and Anna went out on the warm-up lap, and I thought, oh, this will be all right. I'll just settle here. Then all of a sudden, a young lad came past me early on in the race, and then he seemed to disappear. Then on the last lap, when I thought it was all over, I went back to third. So fortunately for me, I managed to do a bit of outbraking at the final S's, which I've not really done before, and it seemed to work okay. So I still learnt a lot, even though I've been doing it a while, you know. So it was a good race, really enjoyable.
Really good race. Any sponsors to thank?
Yes, I'd like to thank all the lads at Racing Lines, which is our little shop in Derby. They've all been staying late this week because we've got 2 riders out, and we normally bring 2 bikes, so we built an extra bike, and it looks like we might need it because Steve's crashed his. I'd also like to thank Anne and Ron at the Ron Aslam Race School for all the help and support they've given me over the years. So they're the main 2 thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Donington Park, round 2 of 2013 at Thundersport GB. It's the A&R Racing Street Fighters, and Scott Adam, a former Super Twins runner-up with Thundersport, is on pole position, number 38 in the Street Fighter A class, alongside Scotsman number 11 Gordon Wright on the KTM Super Duke. There is Martin Stanier back with us on the Suzuki 750. Nice to see Martin again, another Street Fighter A competitor. And then the overall Street Fighter defending champion, Rhys Rothwell, out there on the Triumph 675. 3 classes in 1 race, the Street Fighter A's, the Street Fighter B's, the Street Fighter C's, all separated by different engine capacity, different bikes effectively. Street Fighter C's you'll spot a mile off. They are pretty much supermoto machines. Somewhere mid-pack there, you'll see defending champion number 14, Brad Davey. Street Fighter B's are the class in the middle. They're not quite as powerful as the Street Fighter A's, but they are more powerful than the Street Fighter C's. Simples, as they turn into turn 1, it is Scott Adam that leads. And it's Gordon Wright second, Rhys Rothwell the defending champion in third, and we just get a quick glimpse there of Darren Smith, the former 450 winner with Thundersport GB, and Mick Riddle, who races under the banner of the RAF Motorsports Association. Scott Adam it is that leads there from Scotsman Gordon Wright. Flash Gordon, as you've called him, Sid. It's Sid up here with me, co-director of Thundersport GB. And nice to see Gordon out there. He's doing well on that old KTM Super Duke.
Yeah, I think he's got some bits to do, but the suspension he needs to sort out, and maybe his head, but he'll be okay.
That's a bit unfair, Sid. He's a relative novice, though, isn't he?
He is actually, yeah. He's done very well. And he travels an awful long way from Falkirk in Scotland.
Yeah, that is a trek, isn't it? And he comes on his own as well, a one-man van.
He does, and he's even changed his job. He was an AA man, and he's changed his job so that he can do the racing, and he's been sponsored by his new boss. So that's what you call dedication.
That's what you call handy. Across the line they come, and it is Scott Adam that leads, but number 11 there, Gordon Wright, going underneath him. Rhys Rothwell on the outside there, using all the exit of pit lane to try and gain an advantage, the defending champion. And a bit further back there, you can see the Street Fighter B riders having a good go. There's Martin Stanier. Must be a bit cold out there because it's not raining and he's wearing a jacket over his leathers. So Stanier, number 121 in 4th place overall. Multiple winner in Street Fighter races at Thundersport GB over the last few seasons at both Street Fighter A and Street Fighter B. Still that battle continues at the front between Gordon Wright and Scott Adam. Gordon, in fact, earlier in race 1, had a bit of a moment. He was battling for the lead up until about lap 7. They came up on some traffic. He tipped into Coppice corner, trying to go underneath someone, run out of road, crashed. So he's back out there looking to pick up some more points. And Martin Stanier really closing on a lot of them here as they tip into Fennell chicane. Across the line we go. 38, Scott Adam, it is that still leads from Gordon Wright. Look at Reese Rothwell just on the right of your picture, using all the exit of pit lane. That should, in theory, give him some excellent drive out of Redgate as they head over towards Hollywood. I'm not sure if he's taken an advantage there or not really. There's further back, the Street Fighter C battle. Brad Davey, the defending champion, having a decent battle with Keith Warren and Andy Driver just a little bit further back on the MZ. The factory team, the MZ team there with Andy Driver, but it's Scott Adam that's trying to break away now. Reese Rothwell doing well to hang on to the tails of Gordon Wright, and Reese Rothwell maybe having a look up the inside into Coppice. No, not quite. Stanier a bit further back in 4th.
Well, that excursion into the pit lane seemed to work for Aprilia 125s, but I'm not sure about these. I'm not sure about Reese's bike, whether it particularly worked.
Oh, maybe
you notice the back there of Flash's bike, definitely not right, that suspension.
No, well, maybe he's got himself some road suspension on that. That doesn't look safe at all. John Tomlinson there, number 19, a bit further back. Street Fighter A runner, currently in the top 5 of the A class, but just inside the top 20 overall. Look at Scott Adam making a break for it already. A 16 flat he just put in, good 8/10 quicker than the riders behind him, Gordon Wright and Reese Rothwell. And maybe Gordon's just taking things easy after that crash in race 1. He's thinking that taking the points would be the better option. And there is number 911, Adam Sheriff. He's currently leading the Street Fighter B race as it stands. And a bit further behind him, Dave Palfreman, Mick Riddle, Ryan Strafford. And Phil Page, who's also having a good race up inside the top 10 overall. And Richard Harrison, the brother of Jonathan Harrison, who won the opening season of the Thundersport 500s. Back in 2009.
Yeah, Adam Sheriff, new to Thundersport this year. He's really done well. Works for Motorbike Shop UK, and he really loves it here with us, and he's done exceptionally well. The old 911.
Oh well, just as you say that, it looks as though he's got problems. So commentators curse.
He's lost his lever,
and he has. And Adam Sheriff is going to pull out. Oh, look at that.
You've said to me about commentators' curse.
Well, now you know. Adam Sheriff is going to pull out of this race. He won't be able to continue with that, or will he? There's only a few laps left, mind. Will he have a go at it, do you think?
Well, if he's stuck in 4th, 3rd or 4th, he might get away with it, I guess.
We'll wait and see. At the moment, it is Scott Adam that leads.
How far is he ahead?
He's quite... Oh, and Gordon Wright's gone down again!
No.
Gordon Wright has gone down again, and he's out of the race, and it's the same corner, Sid. He's gone down at Coppice twice. My, that is not a favourite of his, and whilst that's happening, Scott Adam has gone across the line to take the 25 points. He'll have no idea that one of his title rivals for this season has gone down. Reese Rothwell takes 3rd because Martin Stanier ends up 2nd overall. In fact, that's not right. The reason why Reese Rothwell's come up as 2nd overall, Reese Rothwell has come up with a 10-second penalty for a yellow flag infringement. He's dropped down to 3rd, so Martin Stanier promoted to 2nd. Dave Palfreman takes 4th, takes the Street Fighter B win, and there is Scott Adam, the lucky winner in the middle there for Street Fighter A's. In Street Fighter B, it's Dave Palfreman. Great win for him. Nice to see him on the top step ahead of Adam Sheriff and Mick Riddle. And in the Street Fighter C's, it's Keith Warren, Brad Davey, and Andy Driver.
First position in the Street Fighter A class, Scott Adam. That was a good race for you there. You had some battles going on behind you. You didn't see anything?
No, I mean, Gordon had a little slip in the race one today. He was pushing me again in this race, and you can hear his big V-twin sort of thumping away behind you, but you never really know how close he is. Looks like he had a bit of a coming to with somebody else at the same bend that he crashed earlier. So, feel a bit sorry for the fella because he was going really well, and such is life though. But yeah, I mean, 4 wins this weekend. Conditions are not brilliant for anybody. Been a lot of crashes. I feel sorry for the marshals. Standing out there all day, you've got to take me out to them because 10 minutes is bad enough for me.
Yeah. Excellent. Any sponsors to thank?
Yeah, like to thank Pact Engineering, Practical Car and Van Rental, Held Bike Gear, they kept me out this year, Moto Race Bears, and Ashfield Trailer Services.
Well done. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Grace.
Welcome back to Donington Park. The HMT Racing Thundersport 500's up next. 35 machines on the grid, all equal machinery. The sun has come out. It's still pretty cold and nippy out there. Got some brave grid girls down there on the front row. And, well, an interesting championship. Every year it throws up a ding-dong. And this year, Adam Shelton leading the way. Competition for this weekend, well, you have to say it's Neil Bainbridge, number 100, and Steve Tomes. Bainbridge is on pole. Steve Tomes there, second, number 54. Steve Tomes, 47 years old, over 300 race wins to his name. He's won 28 championships in that time. So to say he's experienced is a bit of an understatement. The man you need to look out for, though, is the Stinger Shelton. Third on the grid, number 61, the rider from Hull. On the Joinery Depot Honda. Nicknamed the Stinger back from 2008 when he was a Super Teen contender. He was the runner-up in this class in 2011, but didn't attend every single round. However, the surprise package so far of 2013 has to be number 100, Neil Bainbridge, the 28-year-old HBH Racing rider who's been on fine form so far. You can see Dave Palfreman going through on shot there, and it is Bainbridge that leads through Craner Curves, and just behind him is Adam Shelton, but Bainbridge has the inside line going down into the old hairpin, and coming through also Steve Tomes. And that nearly ended in tears down there. There's Rob Morby, number 53, teammate to Steve Tomes. There is a Seniors Cup within this race. Not quite sure on how old you've got to be in the Seniors Cup. We do, as I mentioned last time, we have a few ringers, I think, in that, because one or two riders that are pretending they're a bit older than they are. But Rob Morby is one of those seniors, and Steve Tomes enters this weekend as one of the Senior Cup riders. Also, one rider that's certainly not a senior is Adam Shelton, though, who's fighting up front. Number 100, Neil Bainbridge, 28-year-old. Actually a former motorcycle racing mechanic. He used to be a mechanic for the old Yamaha R6 Cup, did Bainbridge. There's Matt Shillings, number 24, going through, 17-year-old. He's on the green stripe and Adrenaline ATV Honda. Down into turn one, it's Bainbridge. Side by side there, Steve Tomes and Adam Shelton, and Tomes just being run out wide a little bit, but manages to take second place ahead of Adam Shelton through Hollywood and down into Craner Curves. I need to keep an eye on this lap record as well, because they have been on the fringes of it all weekend so far. And despite the weather conditions, and I can tell you that Adam Shelton and one or two others are actually running a wet front just to get some heat into the front tyres. That's how cold it is here at Donington Park here this weekend. Into Schwantz Curve and up to McLean's, and Bainbridge has lost his lead and almost drops down to third place. Steve Tomes it is that now leads. Bainbridge has a big look over his shoulder. Yes, it's Adam Shelton there in third place. Further back, that battle for fourth place going on between Morby, Blunt is in there, Matt Shillings, Adam Horton. Down the back straight they go, and Bainbridge pulls out of the slipstream. Former Yamaha R6 Cup mechanic, but Steve Tomes is having none of it as they go on to the start-finish straight. Now, the only problem there for Steve Tomes is he's lost all momentum, and Bainbridge is now going to pull on him, and here comes Shelton as well. Shelton in third place, number 61. Look out for him, they're three abreast, and Shelton goes from third to first, or does he? Tomes hanging it out wide. That's not realistically the fastest line around there, but what a move from Adam Shelton. Whilst they are both napping, he just nips out into the lead, and Steve Tomes is just inventing new lines, despite the fact that he's won 28 championships. He's trying to find the best line possible. You can just see him tucking in his left arm there. That's to improve the aerodynamics. These bikes, of course, all flat bars, so when you've got your big old elbows hanging out there, it all helps. So every little tenth of a second that Steve Tomes can try and make up, he will do. He's an experienced rider. The pair of them, though, in second and third, Neil Bainbridge and Steve Tomes, really don't want to let Adam Shelton get away at the front, because he will happily disappear and provide us with a bit of a lonely race out front. But this, well, it doesn't look like it's going to happen just yet. Shelton is that leads, Bainbridge second, Tomes in third. Further back, still a decent battle going on, but we can't take our eyes off this one. Tony Hughes is up in the top 10 as well, the old Street Fighter C champion. And that's Rob Morby in a lonely fourth in the background. It's Shelton, though, from Bainbridge. Bainbridge thought about a look up the inside into Redgate. Doesn't work. Tomes has just lost a bit of momentum on that last lap and has fallen back by a couple of attempts, but I don't think it's really going to hamper his chances as they dip down into Craner Curves. And look at this lot as they're coming through. There's Phil Doody, number 147, ahead of 185. 185 is Dave Sumner. Dave, he's actually profoundly deaf. He can't hear the engine at all, but he can feel it. These grumbly old 500s, and he's just behind Phil Doody, who's actually, well, if he doesn't win a race, he's won an award for the best turned out bike. He's got it out in HRC colours as Phil Doody. Old Spice Racing he's coming out under this weekend. His racing ambition, well, he hasn't got a racing ambition. His ambition is to get a 147 at snooker. Over 100 career centuries. He's actually a former snooker professional. Anyway, back to the racing. It is Adam Shelton that still leads, and that last lap, whilst we're talking about Phil, was a good one for Adam Shelton. In fact, it was a monumental lap from Adam Shelton. It was a 122.1. Where has he pulled that out from? That's the new lap record. He slaughtered it. There's Richard Blunt, number 13, who also races in the Golden Era Superbikes. Adam Shelton has absolutely wiped the floor with him on that last lap. He's almost 2 seconds quicker than the rest of the pack, and he is just flooring it. Now look at this, unbelievable stuff. He's putting a lap on Seth Curry there. Well, it was a close race about 2 laps ago, and all of a sudden Adam Shelton's gone, right, I've had enough of this. I'm going to clear off now. Neil Bainbridge in seconds there still, just ahead of Steve Tomes. Well, great job done by Adam Shelton there on the Joinery Depot Honda. We know that he's immensely talented, but I wasn't expecting to see a lap record go in these conditions here this weekend. And do you know what? There are some prizes on offer this weekend as we see the last lap flag go out. If a rider takes the lap record in their class, and I can tell you that nobody else has at Thundersport GB this weekend, then the bike insurer, I believe, sponsor of Thundersport, are offering £500 to the lap record taker from the weekend, effectively. If there's more than one, then it's by the person that gets it by the biggest margin takes the prize. Well, nobody else has done it, so Shelton's going to back himself an extra £500 here for this win. Lovely stuff. All comes in handily, especially for this class. It's a budget class, and Adam Shelton has struggled for finances over the last few years, so that will mean the world to him. He's just picked up a new sponsor, and now he's got 500 squidleys in his back pocket coming his way, despite the fact that he's not finished the race yet. The money is banked. Down into the final chicane. This has been a wonderful performance from Adam Shelton. He's going to take some stopping in 2013. The checkered flag is out, and Adam Shelton wins it in superb style. Across the line he goes. Look at the margin that he's got. Well, it was a close race early on. Neil Bainbridge takes a solid second and 20 points. That does his championship chances no harm whatsoever. Steve Tomes in third, and then it's Rob Morby in fourth. So Tomes takes the Senior Cup win ahead of Morby. Adam Horton takes fifth place ahead of Richard Blunt. So on the podium then, there's Stinger Shelton in the middle of your picture, Neil Bainbridge on the left and Steve Tomes on the right. And in the Seniors Cup, Tomes wins it from Morby and Tony Hughes. So then, Adam Shelton with an 8-point lead, that's all, ahead of Neil Bainbridge, Rob Morby in third, Blunt in fourth, ahead of Brookbanks and Carl Smalley.
Winner of the Thundersport 500 Seniors and third overall in class, Steve Tomes. That was a good race for you there.
Yeah, good race. I'd rather be winning the main race than the seniors race. Makes me feel a bit old, that does. But yeah, I was hoping to be a bit near the guys right from Adam and Neil, but I just ran on this slip road a little bit early on in the race, never recovered from that. But in the first couple of laps, I thought was going to shape up for some of the other races we had over the weekend, but made a bit of a mistake, and just that was it. You can't give these guys that sort of advantage and expect to keep with them. So pretty happy with that. I haven't been on track for 11 months. Just did half the practice day, so I'm pretty pleased with that. Got to be pleased with that, yeah. So I'd just like to thank Rob Morby and Jane Page from Racing Lines in Derby for lending me the bike, and for Chris Johnson for always being there for me, working on the bike. Past 25 years he's done that, and also for sorting we had a bit of a crash together, Adam and me, in the first race on the warm-up lap, so we sorted that out. So thanks to Chris as always. Okay, thank you.
Well done, thank you. And second position overall goes to Neil Bainbridge. Do you think you can push it a bit more to catch up with Adam?
Well, that's what we're here for, to try my best every race, as you know. But some good racing today. Yeah, I enjoyed every bit.
Good. Any sponsors to thank?
Yeah, all the Littles, all my friends and family that have come to support me this weekend. Mick Hare at Harebull College, Peter Larmouth, Col Moon, and anyone else that's Andrew Milburn, and all the rest of the people that have been to support me in the weekend.
And the winner, Adam Shelton. You had a good lead in that race. How was it for you?
It was fantastic. We had a bit of a mixed weekend with a couple of offs through various problems with the bike. One bad tyre choice on my part, I've got to put my hand up. But yeah, nice to get out there. Everyone's really put in. I'd like to thank my dad, Joinery Depot, for turning up and massive support there. Also ashcourt.com and 5 Ways, my lid. And I think that's everyone. If I missed anyone off, you know who you are, so cheers.
Well done, thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Well, that's it then from Donington Park, and we head off to Norfolk. Snetterton is up next for Thundersport GB. We'll see you there.